Get some sparks made and some grilling, grinding and cutting and making sparks and grinding and brrr. Hey everybody, and welcome back to Koi Pond Lifestyle. So what have we got on today? Oh, it's still nippy cold. Pond is still hovering around about 7 degrees. Not putting my hand in those filters today. I'll be glad to hear you. Never mind you, I'll be glad to hear that. Just got a filter floss just changed today. We're going to take one more look, well, not one more, I hope it's going to be one more, but maybe we're going to take another look at remember we did this Koi Pond Lifestyle waste extraction system, or waste extractor. Anyways, we've got that to sort out today as well. I'll tell you, you guys out there give me some fantastic ideas, very, very good. So we're going to have a look at doing a little bit more with that to see if we can make that work, because like I said last time, it has legs. And those legs are going to start in there, so we're going to get this sorted and hopefully get that working better. Got an update on me upside down aquarium, or whatever you want to call it, because we're going to let you call it something. I've already had loads and loads of ideas come through and of the name it can be, and I'm sort of writing them all down, and then we may do a little bit of a competition, or we might just go like pick you out of a hat, and that's what we'll call it. So I've got an update for that as well, because my fabricator is moving ahead quite nicely with that, so I've got an update on that as well. And then we may have a few other bits and pieces and things to talk about around the pond, so let's get cracked on and get some stuff done. So, filter floss, if you're new to the channel, hi, welcome, thank you for subscribing, and welcome to Koi Pond Lifestyle. That's at the beginning. Anyways, if you're not new to the channel, you'll be fully aware that I'm an advocate of filter floss. Love this stuff. This is, if you've got a pond and you've got your filtration system running, you can't afford any more filters, or you've got a homemade filter, or you've got a system that doesn't quite take those fines out, you can't afford to do one of those ridiculously expensive Tempest things, those vertical tube things that take out the fines, or you can't be asked to make your own of those Tempests, just get some filter floss. This is cheap as chips, costs literally pennies. And at the beginning I said I wasn't going to stick my hands in a filter, but I've just realised I've got to. Damn. So yeah, this stuff is cheap as chips. You find loads of other pond keepers use this. Everybody says it's good, it advocates for everybody uses it, because when you're in the process, when you got this stuff in, the amount of waste it actually catches, just the fines, the bits and pieces you don't get through the rest of your filters. Have a look at that. And that's through a pond in winter that's not feeding. I haven't fed my fish for months now. So these are all the little bits and pieces that get knocked off the bottom, and they just make their way through the system, and fantastic stuff. So I probably change that as and when required at the moment. In the summer I change it a lot more often, because there's a lot more fish waste going through it and a lot more fines to catch. So yeah, this is the cleaner stuff looks like compared. Can't knock it, cheap as chips. And I've wasted no water doing that I can think of another vertical filter that does. But anyways, I'm not getting into that, because I've seen people go there and it's not a nice place to be. There's a place in Stoke-on-Trent that I'll leave the link to in the description below if I remember on, where you can get large quantities of it. I picked up a really large amount just to keep me going for at least a couple of seasons, or the rest of my life maybe. And it's not expensive at all. It's literally pennies to put into your system and use and change whenever you like, and just throw it away. I used to clean it, and then I found out exactly how much it actually costs, and I'm like, might as well just bin it. So I just rinse it out, rinse the mucky water into the garden, feed the plants with it, stuck the rest in the bin. Fantastic. Now I think what you'll be hearing over the next few months is a lot of pond keepers and a lot of chat on social media using the word waste, because there's going to be, and I think I've mentioned this 3 or 4 videos ago, I did a video on trying to save some money through winter. We're turning things off that aren't essential to the preservation and life of your fish. So for example, the air, I only run my air now 12 hours a day through the evening, 7 PM till 7 AM, turn it off through the day. No need for air because there's the colder water's holding more oxygen anyway. My skimmer, I've got a floating skimmer that I don't use through winter at all. In fact, to be honest, I might just run it today for an hour, because I'm noticing, even though I've got the covers on, I'm noticing like a film of stuff landing on top. So I'm going to see how much still gets underneath the covers. I mean, I take them off today, but I only take them off for an hour or so, every day or so. But anyway, I'm going to see what comes on and comes in through there. I've got some filter floss in there as well to see what that picks up. So there's a number of areas that you can try to save on electric when you're running your pond. You know, I'm already hearing horror stories that people have and are considering shutting their ponds down now, because, you know, they don't believe they're going to be able to make it through this increased hike in energy costs. You know, everything's going up, fuel, insurance, the kit and caboodle's going up. So, you know, when I put this pond together, I was very aware that I could try to do it on a decent budget, but not, you know, spending silly money on things that you don't really need. So hence why I do a lot of the stuff myself on the pond in and around it. You know, creating things in and around the pond. If I can do it myself, great. If I will. If I can't, then I'll get somebody else to do it. But I try not to sort of splash out hundreds and hundreds of pounds on things unless it's really necessary. Then I have to. So, for example, this year I don't think I'll be buying any more fish this year. But never say never. You know, the right fish might come up at the right price. But, you know, we're looking at doing some cost savings for this, and I think you'll see a lot of the YouTube videos and other people in other ponds and through Facebook, you know, showing how they've been making savings and how you can make savings. You know, powered filters versus non-powered filters. You know, different kind of variable pumps that you can buy. You know, I did comment at one point that I was going to change my pump, my water pump, for a variable one, so I could increase it and decrease it. And somebody said, well, you know, why would you go out and spend 200 quid on another pump so you could turn it down and save maybe 50 quid a year? And I've just spent 200 to get the pump. Really good point. You know, you've got to look at things like that as well. If I spend X, what's the gain back? So it's a number of things. You know, I'm just watching the mid-chag float by the window, bless him. I tell you, I can't wait to get these till the sun comes out and the weather warms up, and we can get these covers back off again and get back to normal. Anyways, so yeah, so anyway, just done the filter floss. So filter floss is done. I was trying not to delve my hands into these vortexes too much today, but I've had a look in the vortex if there's enough waste in there, but there isn't. So it gives me a couple of days now to play around with my koi pond lifestyle extractor, waste extractor, and do a little bit more design on this, because like I say, I think I can make this work. And like I said, I've had loads of comments as well from you guys out there, so fantastic. Keep your comments coming, because they mean a lot to me when they come in, and I take a lot of them on board, you know. So I'm going to play around with this system and see if we can get it working better. Right, got the brushes out of the vortex. There's a bit of rubbish in there, but not enough really to do a decent demonstration. So I'm going to disturb a little bit off the bottom of the pond, a little bit of algae off the bottom of the pond again, and let it rush through or make its way through the bottom drain and into the vortex. Let that settle in there, and then it'll give me a little bit better stuff to see if it works again, or if I make some adjustments. Right, just been running my skimmer for about maybe 5 or 6 hours. It's not something I usually run through the winter, because I've always thought that because I've got my covers on, nothing gets onto the surface. How wrong can you be? Just looking at this filter floss that I put on, that should pick you up a little bit. There you go. Yeah, this is what I've just picked up over the last 5 or 6 hours running the my skimmer. That's an interesting one, isn't it? So yeah, I always thought that there's nothing gets on the surface of these. I've got covers on it. Oh yes, it does. You get lots of this. Now this is, I've not run this skimmer now since October last year, or might have been earlier, maybe September time last year, because I've never used it. I've always, to be honest, I had it for the first time last year, and I've never needed it over winter, so I've never used it. But now I think every now and again I might just give it a whirl, because it's picking up and getting rid of lots of crap that's been picked up on the surface. And I must admit, it's put a bit of a shine on the water now, which is interesting. It's always interesting around here. Update on my upside down aquarium, or whatever you want to call it. No, it's good. Anyway, I've been over to the fabricator now, and we're almost at the, well, we're ordering the materials now. I've given him the go ahead, signed off the plans, signed off the my attempt at some designs. He kind of looked at them and he went like, nice one, and I was like, hey, you're the expert, not me. Anyway, so sign them off. Now it isn't going to be cheap, because the cost of the materials is quite high at the moment. So the cost of stainless steel is quite high, and it's costing a little bit more than I expected, but he's doing it a really good price for the building of it. And I'm going to give him a hand, and we're going to hopefully do a bit of filming when we're bzzz and making sparks and grinding and whirr, all that kind of stuff. So so we're going to get to do that, but it's going to take him a week or two to get the materials in. He's really busy with other projects at the moment. He does a lot of stuff for local businesses and local companies around him. So as soon as that's in, I said, give me a buzz when the materials are in, mate, and I'll pop over, give you a hand, we'll get some sparks made and some grilling, grinding and cutting, and some welding sparks. So we'll get that done. But again, you'll see all this on the video, because I'm doing a separate video for that. Anyway, it's getting really cold this evening, so let's go on to a different day. Right, so yeah, another day, another dollar, as the saying goes. Now today I'm going to do a little bit more. Took this out again, oops, that way around, my KPL Waste Extractor, taking it back out the Votex, but it's just really cold, windy, horrible day. I've not even took the covers off the pond, because if I unlock them covers, they're going skyward. So I'm going to leave them off, leave them tied on and leave them all locked in place, because that's no good. Even the opening to my filters, I'm going to put that down in a minute. So I'm going to do all my filming in the man cave today, because it's just too windy and it's too wet to do anything out here today. So, been looking at all your ideas, and some fantastic ideas come through. So I've been analysing them all on what's the best way to make this work. And I don't know, I've got to put a bit more thought into it. Let's get in the man cave, because it's just too windy out here to do anything. So anyway, let's get in the man cave. Right, back in the man cave, and I need to put a bit more thought into how I'm going to get this lowered, because if you remember right, it wasn't quite low enough. See how it looked like this? Needs to be lowered a little bit, so we just need to get something lower to it. Now, there's some fantastic ideas coming from you guys on putting sort of 90-degree bends on it, 45-degree bends on it, putting T-pieces on it, so it grabbed it throughout the thing. So it's just a case of what adjustments do we make to make it work? I've got an idea. Right, so just got back from that place that sells loads of stuff, DIY stuff. Yeah, the idea of the 45-degree angle stuff kind of pinged me to a little bit of a light bulb moment. What I'm looking at now then is, because this only just fits into the out external bit of the pipe, is something's going to have to go on that's the same size as this. I can't go bigger, because otherwise I've got to go smaller again, and then it gets too much length, which is going to be interesting. So I've come up with two of these sort of 45-degree angle jobbers, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to set them together like this, like that, yeah, like that, okay, and then they're going to go into the pipe that way around, like so that it lowers it, takes it to a next level down, and then it should sit in the bottom like this. But I have a funny feeling this between there and there is too much. Between that and that is too much. So I'm going to have to do a bit more measuring and cut this one down so this goes further down, then cut that one down so that can fit further in, and all that kind of stuff. So I still need a bit more fettling, but I think this is going to be the way forward at the moment, because I just got to work out how this distance from there to there. I'm gonna have to get back into the blooming Votex actually, get it emptied and do some more measuring so I know what this, from where the exit is and how low it needed to go. Otherwise it's going to be too low. So can I pick it up by snipping a bit off? These were £1, £10, £20, whatever they were. So if it doesn't work, I've kind of wasted about £3.50. Let's give it a blast. I'll get some fettling done. Alright, so first of all, I've got to try to lower it down, so I'm going to bring this sleeve further down so it goes to the bottom there. So I'm going to cut this bit off the top so that it goes all the way down to the bottom of the sleeve. That should lower it a little bit. That should lower it a little bit in the water as well, which is better. And then the inside, this basically was 13 inches to actually fit in. So that's the only length I've got after it's gone into the pipe to be able to fit. However, this altogether is more like 16 or even 17. So I'm going to have to try to reduce its length down a little bit as well. So I'm wondering about this area here. So anyway, let's make some adjustments and see what happens. So these are bits I've had to cut off the end now to make it shorter, so this now measures exactly the same length, 13 inches as the first one. So just needs rebranding because I'm about to cut into my KPL, so I'll just get that done and we're rocking and rolling then. Right, I think we're ready for it to go back in again. I've had to make some other little adjustments, but anyway, this is how it's going to happen. This is how it's going to go in, and I believe this is now the right height to sit this on the base. But what I've done is, eagle eye have spotted, I've put an extra couple of little holes just in the side, because how this is going to sit now right on the bottom, it just should literally sit on the bottom. So I'm just making sure that we get everything, all my bases are covered from it drawing from other places as well. I'm not going to open that end up, I'm going to keep that end sealed so that it draws all the way through. But anyway, I'm going to get this back in, and I've had to reword it because I cut it short, and see how it goes. So let's get it in again. Right then, here we go, moment of truth. Just the new and improved waste extractor is now in the Votex. It's been sitting there for a couple of days now. This is a couple of days on from when the last bit was made, and it's got quite a lot of waste and rubbish around it. So taking all the brushes out, give it an hour or so to settle down. We're going to stick the GoPro in once again so you can actually go in and see what happens. And fingers crossed, I think I've nailed it this time, but let's find out. I thank you. It worked, get in. I told you it had legs. Apart from that little bit up at the top right hand corner. Maybe I just need to put another little hole up there, but the rest of it drew it out. Get in there. Don't knock it till you've tried it. Tried it, worked, keeping it in there. Ka-ching, notch. KPL Waste Extractor. I'm dead chuffed with that. Anyways, 7 seconds. Didn't even, in fact I'll show you how much of the Votex it emptied. Just that much. There, that's the bottom water level, and that's where it's come from. I thank you once again. Yeah, get in there. So I'm dead chuffed for that. So there we have it, the Koi Pond Lifestyle Waste Extractor for your multi-bay system. It works! Tick! In fact, I feel an advert coming on. And on that bombshell, thanks very much for watching. If you've liked the video, please click the like, hit the subscribe button if not subscribed yet, like to share on all your friends, and click the notification bell for more videos coming out. Thanks very much for watching. This was Koi Pond Lifestyle.